I usually define corporate responsibility as how you do your business, not the business you do.
We know the societal expectations are in fact that we are driving improvement and progress and not wait for regulation to catch up.
I think we have a shared vision that we want to do things well, but we want to do them right as well.
Safe and sustainable business, it's a key priority for Lundin Petroleum, it's always been.
Norway is one of the most transparent and regulated countries in the world where the oil and gas industry exists. In 1971, the ground rules were set. Norway from the outset decided that flaring of gas as a norm was not acceptable. And then we took it a step further in 1991 when we introduced CO2 tax. And of course that was a huge incentive to make sure that our operations are already very energy efficient.
When we analyzed the UN Sustainable Development Goals, we thought, where can we have the biggest impact? Obviously, as an oil and gas company, it's providing clean, affordable, reliable energy. And I know that for some, if you say oil and gas, you don't imagine clean. Clean is renewable. But in this transition period, we will need oil and gas. So how can we provide the most energy efficient oil and gas?
Of course, you have to be prepared to invest and you have to prepare to be innovative and look at new technology. Despite the fact that we're not necessarily investing in renewable, we actually use renewable. The future of Lundin Petroleum is our ability to reduce our emissions by barrel produced. And we are in a perfect environment from a country point of view. At the same time, we try to have a very entrepreneurial and innovative spirit so we can do even better. As an example, the national average in Norway of CO2 emissions per barrel produced is half of the world, and we are below that.
Edvard Grieg is an oil-producing platform. There's about 140,000 barrels of oil going across the installation every single day. And in 2022, we will be supplied with power from shore.
We'll be using renewable energy, hydropower, and this will mean almost no emissions per barrel produced.
To be able to operate on the Norwegian continental shelf, we have to maintain and deliver health and safety standards.
We always aim to exceed the expectations, and our goal is to have an excellent HSE track record at all times. This is to ensure that our people are coming safe home from work and also to minimize the carbon footprint.
And prior to any drilling operation or indeed a development project, we do extensive assessments of the seafloor and the life in the waters where we operate, making sure that nothing we do does anything to destroy the ecosystem and the biodiversity in the areas where we operate. And that's a responsibility we feel not just as Lundin Norway, but in fact what we do also impacts all of the operators on the Norwegian continental shelf. And I think that's a responsibility we all share so that the industry can in fact thrive and be competitive on a global basis.
Today we're focusing on being as efficient as possible, but tomorrow along the way, things may change and we have to be always alert and be ready for those changes and embrace changes.
In Lundin Norway, we're not just concerned about following the rules and the regulations, but we do aim to go beyond. So we've set some expectations with our suppliers that's got nothing to do with regulations to make sure that we in fact minimize the risk of plastics pollutions to sea.
And then the development goal, which is SDG 13, is about climate action. It's a little bit of a philosophy in this company, the power of one. Everybody can make a difference. For example, when we built these facilities, we decided to use geothermal heat system. Then we complemented it with solar panels. We also decided to plant a vegetable garden in order to capture fine particles. These might seem like trivial in relation to the whole global issue, but I think the message that we as a company and as individuals want to send is that everybody can do something.
It's very important for our industry to operate in a sustainable manner long term, because I think it's about survival of our industry. It's about competitiveness, it's about producing energy in a way that the world is willing to accept our energy.
We recognize that there's a global climate challenge. It's not just the oil and gas business, but it's any business that has to do its share. The train has left the station. It's not a choice anymore. You either are in the train or you're going to be running behind the train and eventually disappearing. I'm quite optimistic. The world and technology, there's a lot of things we can do, but the mentality of the people has to change. We will only succeed if we do it together. And it's not anymore your problem or your problem, it's a global problem.
I think Norway is in a really good spot. We are well advanced in how we run operations, we are well advanced in terms of our regulatory framework and also in the way that the companies do in fact operate here.